Thought I'd make a video. Lots of videos out there on building your own house and how to do it and what not to do and all those good old things here. And this is my first new build, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,300 square foot home. I'm in East Tennessee, and I started the project. Broke ground digging the footers April 1st. So just give you a quick look around and give you a quick rundown financially of where things are at and what things could or should cost you. We'll start with the site work. Site work was somewhat minimal, digging the footers and just some grading that cost me about $3,500. I rented the machinery and dug the footers. And when I say me, I am a general contractor, and I have a small crew of guys. Have a good guy. He's ran heavy equipment most of his life. So moved on to the footers. Pouring the footers cost, I think the concrete was about $2,000, about $1,500 for the labor, 12 to 15. What you're seeing there is the bottom drain. It's a drain that you're going to have, especially this is a crawl space home, but have about 4 feet underground that you just perforated pipe. I call it a tile. I'm not really sure why a tile. And go ahead and drop that in. First, you're gonna roll a damp proofing product onto the block and fill with gravel, and get yourself a good fabric that will allow water to kind of flow through and keeps that rock nice and clean. My framers, great group of guys. About 10 grand in lumber, and the labor charge on that was $7,500. And so all the trades are done, and we'll have inspections on Friday. And maybe I can film that for y'all. Maybe I can't. We'll see. But you walk in and love the floor plan. I've looked at a lot of floor plans. This side entrance, you walk through here. Got a small closet over here. That'll be a dryer, washer, small utility sink. You come through here, and this would bring you into the kitchen dining room. Here would be your kitchen. Here's your front door. So we'll kind of act like you're, coming through the front door. Nice big open concept. You have your master / primary. It's primary these days, I guess. Walk in and decent size. Nice walk-in closet. And nice sized bathroom. I went with a porcelain tub, something that when you step in it doesn't feel like acrylic, doesn't feel like plastic. The cost is minimal, maybe a couple $100. One thing, they make these foam panels. I highly suggest you getting them to protect your tubs, because no matter how careful people are, they will scratch them, damage them, stand on the sides, you name it, and it's enough to drive me insane. Vent fan, that'll be the last thing my HVAC guy has to do here. We have I think I'm gonna go with this single bowl sink so we can have some countertop space, because, do we really need 2 sinks? And some people may say yes, and that's fine. So we'll move on from the framing. That did include the trusses. The trusses I had built and delivered for $4,800, and that included 30-foot long TGIs, which are wooden eye joists that I use for the subfloor system. Delivered on site, makes for a much sounder floor. You can frame it traditionally, sure. You'll save some money, but I think in the end, the end product, you're going to get a flatter floor, and I think a quieter floor, and just a better floor. All right. Walk through here. Just your small standard 5x10 bathroom to a bedroom here. You know, closet. All this stuff isn't new or unusual. That's what, you know, if y'all are watching this video, I doubt it's because of that. The windows, me and my guy set. Windows and doors all in $3,500, maybe $4,000. Your local 84 Lumber carries them. Sometimes they could be hard to deal with though. Went with one piece fiberglass stub. New code is behind your tub, showers, whatever. You're not allowed to have a void. You're supposed to have a continuous air barrier all the way from ceiling to the floor. I see over here, my guys may have missed that because I think that'll be able to get insulated. And so we should be good there, but you can't get drywall back behind there, back in that corner. And this is where, if we don't fix it, you would fail your inspection. This gap right here, right? When a sheetrock's put in here, yes, you're gonna have insulation back behind here, but you are not gonna have a continuous air barrier, so they should have extended that to that wall. We did conventional framing. If you don't know what that is, it's just a technique, way of frame a house that allows you to get a higher R value, meaning instead of having 3 2x6 studs in this wall, it allows you to, the way that it's framed, to get insulation back behind here. These wall intersections too, instead of the traditional T or what they used to do back in the day, that's how they frame them now, so you can get insulation back behind there. We went ahead, and I always like to go ahead and put blocking in for my shelves because it never fails. You need a bracket right where there's not a stud to make it look aesthetically pleasing, and it can make installing your closet system challenging, frustrating, and it's going to give you a stronger closet. Hanging rod, hang more clothes, more weight. You won't have to worry about it failing. Some more stuff, blocking. Went ahead and did your blocking in here. Something that you're going to always want to do. Went in here and we did the same thing here in the bathroom. You see toilet here. You're going to have some blocking for a toilet paper holder. You don't need that much, my guys. But after the framing process, you're going to have leftover lumber. This is going to be the towel rack. If you've been in any house that's ever had a towel rack that's either fallen off, loose, whatever, it can be really frustrating to fix that, and creates a lot more time in the installation process without that blocking. Trying to think where anything else here. Obviously, I decided I liked my ductwork up in the attic where it's out of crawl space, and maybe in the next video I'll show you the crawl space. It's just a cleaner look. I feel more secure. You won't have rats, rodents, animals getting into your ductwork, and I like that. These trusses, if you see, gives you from that top plate, which is the 2 2x6s that the trusses are sitting on top of, sit off that by about a foot, and that's going to allow me to do the blow-in insulation and give you the R value that you're looking for. I believe it's 39. It keeps going up and up and up. Sliding door. We're going to have a deck out back. So, those are just some prices that if somebody wants to try to manage the home themselves, they can do that. Some questions, your AC unit, where are you going to want it in your house? This one, per plans has its own split unit going here, but you're still going to have a small outside unit. And so when you walk outside here and you do your site plan and you're trying to figure that out, you need to know where you're going to want that. For instance, if we had a deck that ran the length of the house, well, I'm not going to have a spot for my unit out here, small unit out here. So you just have to take that into consideration. All this dirt here, you have some dirt piled up, and it can be a challenge keeping the site clean and dry. Today, I had some gravel delivered, and I should have had it here sooner. And this is something that you're going to want to do sooner than later. Once you have your site work done, have some gravel delivered, or you're going to be walking around in a muddy, disgusting, challenging work site, and it can be a real drag, and it can get the house all dirty and muddy, and nobody likes that. So still have some tightening up to do on the Tyvek. Not a big deal. So this is the status. My goal is to build a home, 90 days, turnkey. That's my goal. Code, you're required to always have porta potty on site, so make sure you have one. You guys, it's for them to leave and go to the store and come back, and they're going to charge you for it, and so you might as well just have a spot for them to use the restroom. Get yourself a nice job site box, a way to, if an inspector or somebody that might want to buy your house, they get nosy. They can come in here. You have a set of plans down there, and they can check it out. And I think it's, by code, you're supposed to have all these things. Sometimes in the smaller towns, they don't really dock you for that. But the last thing structurally that we did, and one thing that I did mess up on, is had it framed, had it sheathed. When you do that, make sure you have it, whoever's doing it, work in the price of at least getting it, tar papered, right? Because I didn't do that, and my roofer promised me he would be here on a Monday. Wasn't here on a Monday. Here I was. I had the whole house framed. I had the windows and doors in, and we had torrential rain. Got, the subfloor, basically it was a pool. Now they are made to get wet. They are made to endure some water, but, why put it through it unless you have to? So, make sure you get that worked in. He did show up a week later, got the house all shingled. That cost me $6,800, and that's about the price so far. Plumber wanted about 10 grand. You could figure about 10 for plumbing, 10 to 12 for plumbing, 10 to 12 for your mechanical, heating and AC, and about that for your electrical, depending on what you go with, and so figure 30 to 40,000 on a house this size. The goal for us is to sell this house for about 300,000 and make a little profit and move on to the next. Nobody's getting rich building these, but it keeps everybody busy and food on the table, and on to the next one. what I will do really quickly is just show you a set of house plans that I do have, and I suggest highly that you get a working set of plans instead of sometimes you can do it on a paper napkin and you can get it approved and all that good stuff, but I'm just telling you, it makes your life so much easier, because everybody's going to have a question for everybody, everyone involved, and so if you don't really kind of know what you're doing, it can be overwhelming. And I'm still learning. I'm not gonna even try to pretend I know it all, but here's what the house will look when it's done. All right, gives your elevations here, and this is gonna be the inside is gonna be floor plan, nice floor plan. You know, and this is nice, so it gives you that. It's going to give your electrician, so instead of him, you know, walking through and asking you, where do you want this switch, where do you want that plug, he has everything there for him. Your roofer's going to know the pitch of the roof. The truss company's going to know the pitch, so it's going to make things easy when you go to get your cabinetry. All your cabinet sizes are there. That makes things easy as well. Tells you, you know, your R value for your insulation, all those things. So get yourself a working set of plans. I think this costs about $1,000. It was money well spent. Makes the job much easier. So if you're trying to build your own house on your own, you know, it's definitely doable. What I wanted to do is try to share with you the mistakes that I made. And like I said, the biggest one on this one was not tar papering that roof as soon as it was sheathed and waiting for the roofer. That was the biggest one. But we are 38 days in, and stride in. All the rough-ins for all the mechanical, electrical, plumbing are done. Inspections for Friday. And stay tuned. We'll see if we pass. Thanks for watching.